God, there's nothing like young talent, huh? Well, the clan is gathered. I saw a few war horses last night. Met a lot of new owners. Now let's get the cards straight this time. All right, inventory time. For the new owners, a lot of new suppliers and new company people, or company people or suppliers that haven't been to this is their first convention, it's okay to introduce yourself to each other. Now, the French are, culturally, they're not so sure that's a good idea, but in the McDonald's culture, you can come up and introduce yourself. What's your rent? What's your SOI? What are your TCs? I'd like to ask everybody in the room that this week you establish a one-on-one relationship with somebody overseas. Now, we got Mohammed Shah here from Kuala Lumpur, Walter from Germany, Comrade George Iacocca Kohan, our comrade. At May Day, the people out in the square were hollering, "Garby, Garby, Garby." And the rumor in eastern Canada, in Halifax, there in Dave Reed's country, is that George thought they were yelling, "Georgie, Georgie, Georgie." To the new owners and the old war horses, you can listen. Few bites, few bullets for half the licensees out of 2,960 have been in the system less than 5 years. Now think about that. Don't buy every company program. It's okay to turn them down. Don't waste. Squeezing the ketchup bag, turning the lights off in the storeroom. This is a line by line, dollar by dollar business. You've got to dig at it, making ends meet. The business calls for using your ingenuity, your street smarts, and being hungry. If you're a new operator in that first 5-year group, if you're expanding, watch the overhead building. Don't get too far ahead on the curve of office G&A. Keep your office in the store. Spend more time with the floor managers than you do in meetings. And get your floor managers to spend more time in the lobby. From Gary Lloyd, God, it's great. The crew is the heart, the floor managers are the soul, and your job is to touch the heart and soul. Treat your field consultant as an operations consultant more than as an inspector, and I think she'll reciprocate. Beware of the blanket, the infrastructure, the matrix of the system. It'll have a tendency to make you too dependent. Choose a veteran owner-operator to be your mentor. They've been there before, they've contributed much to the system, and your turn will come to give back. McDonald's is a family. Ethnically diverse, cosmopolitan in character. Your brothers and sisters under the skin. In this family, we have grandparents, parents, children, distant cousins, kissing cousins, probably a black sheep or two, and even an Uncle Fred. Even though you can hear 23 foreign tongues this week, we all speak a common language: QSC, sales, SOI, rents, and TCs. We might not be blood relations, but we have the same ketchup coursing through our veins. We came together for the first family reunion 25 years ago in Hollywood, Florida. We come together every couple of years since to see old friends, renew acquaintances, review where we've been, shape where we're going, and to see what's new. The family was founded by an entrepreneur, 4 entrepreneurs, with the cornerstone that the foundation, that the premise is that the success of the individual operator will ultimately determine the success of the company. The cornerstone still supports the system to this day. As family members, we inherit a legacy of success. But we know that this legacy is not a birthright. The rewards go to those that earn them. We're independent and interdependent, like the spokes of a bicycle wheel. Independent because each spoke bears different amounts of stress as the wheel turns. Interdependent because the wheel derives its total strength from the individual spokes. We measure ourselves, we rate our progress. We have a tradition and philosophy that should serve as a benchmark for expanded thinking. We know for the family to continue to prosper and for the family to remain vibrant, we have to encourage, not inhibit, creativity. The history of McDonald's is not the history of a company. It's the story of individuals, where the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. We're a $17 billion multi-local neighborhood restaurant. We form a 3-legged stool: operators, suppliers, and company people. Each of us has a stake in the business, and that gives us a proprietary interest. The character of the business reflects the character of the proprietor. Why the hell can't I say that? The 3 legs, along with 11,400 store managers, 700,000 crew, form the McDonald's system. The system is standards and commitment to standards. It's the greatest good for the greatest number. It's checks and balances. We prod and motivate each other. We bring out the best in each other. System is dedication, persistence, sharing, and 3,400 presidents. The system is incentives, separate but complementary investments that give the 3 legs a mutuality of economic interest. The system is a partnership of interest. The system is the spirit of partnership. We consider it a compliment to be called a partner by someone who means it and someone who understands it. This family, our system, the 3 legs, the partners, we're all dependent on the customer. Together, we face 22 million moments of truth every day. Now, Comrade George, where are you? Dobro notes, Comrade George. I figured he'd be down. All right, put a light on him. It's the shiny head. Stand up, George. Stand up, George. Speaking for the McDonald family around the world, I want to express our appreciation You know, the tremendous exposure, George. It was a global happening. Ray gave us press on, and you showed what persistence means. So we thank you, sir, on behalf of the family. In the American market, we see soft sales increases and the need to build transaction counts. Profits are under pressure from rising costs compounded by the weaker top-line sales. Discounting, BOGOs, and coupons are the common currency. The chain competitors are supplemented by the other guys: convenience stores, microwave, supermarket salad bars and delis, carry-out, home delivery, and the hamburger drive-thrus. The labor market is tight, and the caliber isn't always what we'd like. Price elasticity comes to play, and putting it up on the menu board won't solve all our needs. The public attitude on the environment is changing. The consumer has a growing interest in the nutritional value of the foods they eat. So there's plenty of heat in the kitchen and tough issues. We're in another market shakeout, a difficult one. We've been in market shakeouts before. We've had to work for the business before. There are no quick fixes. We'll just have to dig it out the hard way. You know, no easy answers. It's going to be hard work. We'll come out stronger. I got a prescription for you. It's a double dose of inspiration and perspiration. The best thinking of the system. First-rate ideas, first-rate input, first-rate output from the operators, the company people, and the suppliers. The three-legged stool needs to manage smarter, take cost out, trim the overhead expense, and get the cost of the investment down. In this market, you operators, company people, you've got to make a difference in the store. You've got to have a healthy relationship to the store. You can tell a good field by a farmer's footprints. It's never been more important to have a good operation, and yet it's never required more skillfulness to achieve it. The market calls for a hands-on style. The market calls for drive and leadership quality. The company people, you got to watch impact. You got to watch these high-cost sites. You got to watch first-year store profitability. Okay? Intelligent and selective discounting. It has a place. You know, there's got to be an end to the road, and we got to figure out how we're going to climb out. But, you know, intelligent and selective discounting has a place. Let's not overdo it. Okay, we all know that. As always, we need a balance between sales and profit. Oh, my three-legged Yankee partner, if you snooze, you lose. You're in a marathon. It's not a sprint. We operate our business in a world where the press perception, the consumer perception, environmental perception and concern, nutritional perception and concern are all part of our daily lives. McDonald's is a focal point a symbolic personification. Prominence puts us in the spotlight. We're on the media's Richter scale. Writers, editors, they tend to be reactive. Treatment of us includes stereotypes. It frustrates us. These days you have to keep your eyes on more than your fries. The system is learning to deal with this. The half-truths, the quarter-truths, the misinformation. We're beginning to come of age. International was earlier on the curve in dealing with these issues, as North America is earlier on the curve on competition. We can learn from each other. International's been proactive longer, of necessity. And this week there's an opportunity to talk to your Australian, English, Canadian, and West German cousins about how they dealt with it. The system needs a bubbling of the best ideas and the brightest executions. On nutrition, the three legs have we've got a lot of untold stories on our side. The system needs to get very good at dealing with this issue. There's a need to invent the optimum methods for making a difference without inflaming it. The talents are in this theater can move the needle towards neutral and dent the perception on nutrition. Dealing with these issues, environment, nutrition, media, it's not the company's job. It's not the operator's job. It's not the supplier's job. It's everybody's job. The solutions are in the system. I've passed Mike another baton. This one has a knob on it. I haven't retired. I'm not going anywhere. I want it. Thank you. Thank you. I want to contribute to the improvement of the system. I want to see it realize its potential. Mike's been a strong CEO. Where is he? There he is. For 3 years. It was a good time to pass the gavel. I want to help Mike, give him my support, and be his partner. There have only been 3 chairmen in the history of McDonald's. Mike has the same pride and McDonald principles. He understands we're predominantly a licensing and service company. I appreciate the fact that we have a chairman, 45, and an Ed Renzi and Jim Canlupo, 2 presidents, 45 and 46, with integrity and with long experience in McDonald's. So, Mike, I think we can both thank June Martino for hiring you. June's with us. Stand up. June, you're my unsung hero. You touched the people in the company. You made a difference, and at a critical time in our history. I didn't get to see you last night. I was going to tell you that, June, 35 years later, everything has changed, and nothing has changed. One of the things I want to do as senior chairman is be a nudge. And I'd like to nudge the regional managers, the managing directors, to spend more time with the operators, less time on the company stores. You got remodeling McCopco in pretty good shape, and McCopco's made progress. You need more quality time with each other, beyond the co-op and regular meetings, personal time, informal, brainstorming the market problems and opportunities, managing smarter the environment, nutrition, and media concerns, margins, taking cost out, building TCs, analyzing, what is intelligent and selective discounting, establishing and evaluating a dialogue on what's reasonable remodeling. And here's one for you. Invent. Somebody please invent six-pack Mac. Now, don't ask me what it is. It hasn't been invented yet. But take the concept, take the flag, six-pack Mac, and what do you do with it? It's got potential. So in this dialogue, you can, regional manager, managing director, licensees, you can listen to each other, instead of being too quick to criticize each other. The zone officers and the regional and the relationship partners, you can be a catalyst in this process. Monitor the home office travel more so that the regions and countries can focus. Second nudge, veteran owners, please consider in some cases taking in a manager, a long-term manager, super, in as a partner in a store, in one store. I mentioned this the last couple conventions. I know it's not for everybody. The idea has a place. They should buy the interest, maybe a discount, maybe help them with the financing. Shouldn't be given to them. To think about, buy more, buy back, buy out, new relationship with an operating partner, care and feeding. 4 quick bullets at you, left over. I didn't know where to put them. So I think each region in the U.S., I'd like to ask each region in the U.S. and some of the international markets, I'm not really sure which ones. So Jimmy would have to, help me here. But let's, each region, build a drive-through only. Find a, let's build one and let's try it. I'd like to ask the company people and the licensees to dialogue, especially in the U.S., but it's got to be true in Canada and it's got to be true in the more mature overseas markets. How much overhead should a licensee carry for expansion? Reminder, F-stores, 90 days, up or out. Last thought, bullet. As the McDonald's system continues to grow and mature, how do we prevent the desire for organizational structure and consistency from restraining risk-taking, both within the company organization and the owner-operator organizations? So, like a family, you gotta give a little, take a little, let your poor heart break a little. That's the glory of, that's the story of Mac. Now, wait a minute. No way. Forget it. If I can stand up here with that voice and sing, then the 8,000 talents in this room, with their real talent, can do anything they set their mind to. Peace. Get the hook.